exciting. So I'm sitting here with bare feet, and the air conditioning is really good here at the studios.
So the interesting thing is Erin has no shoes, but yesterday managed to buy some throw pillows.
Well, I had shoes then, and the hideous gray sectional that you insisted I purchased for you was very gray. It needed some color.
I made you buy a sectional?
Yeah, because you were being pathetic about it. Okay, here's the deal. Have you ever seen a sectional in any kind of home decor magazine? No. Do you know why? Because they're hideous.
They're comfortable.
But the point is, Todd has been perching uncomfortably on like one of our kitchen stools for like the last 10 years, watching CNN and working on his computer.
That's why I look like this.
In acute discomfort. So he is whined constantly, a section will be really great.
I don't think
and
I've
then,
whined.
When we moved into the new house, he said, look at this broad, expansive living room. Wouldn't it be delightful if we had a sectional? The whole family could sit here together and watch movies and have popcorn. Wouldn't it be wholesome?
Wouldn't it be family-like?
It's for the children.
Right.
So, of course, Zoe and I went out and I found the biggest freaking sectional I could. And I went, is this the sectional you want? He goes, that would be great. So we got the sectional. Sure enough, it's eaten the entire living room. But it's gray. It's all gray. So it needed a pop of color.
Maybe you think about getting shoes first.
Well, I had shoes then.
I stopped making fun of my sectional.
I just didn't have any shoes now.
Back
I
off,
could wear
lady.
sectional pillows on my feet today.
Holier than thou. Ooh, designer couches. Uncomfortable couches. Yes. Sectional, comfy. First day on the job. In radio, what did you do the first day on your job?
As I recall, I screwed up constantly.
Constantly?
That's traditionally what you do. There was one person here in radio who actually I think it was his first morning at KSL, and he turned off the mic, and the program director came in and said, so how was your first day? And he goes, it was and used the F word. He hadn't turned off the mic.
KSL.
That was also his last morning.
There's no F in KSL.
That is the last morning on radio
See ya.
at KSL.
Bye. Interesting. I'm trying to think. Worked on a farm. Did dairy cows. Nothing. Just stepped in poo like you always do.
Things.
Yeah, we did that. It was fine. No problems. This guy had an interesting way of going about it. This is in New Jersey.
Okay.
In Fairfield, New Jersey.
Yes.
And a guy went. He said, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna be security of some sort.
All right.
So he went down and he applied, and they did his background check. They did his fingerprints.
Sure.
And everything checked out. Boom. He's in an office uniform.
He's in a position of authority.
He is.
This is very exciting. He wears some sort of a badge. Okay.
Armor car.
Ooh,
right?
That's pretty cool. You have to have a really good background check for that.
Right. Yeah. So basically, on his first day, he took off with $100,000. You gotta admire him. His impulsive.
I gotta be honest.
He had a plan.
I know, but I would have waited a little longer for a bit more money. I mean, God bless you, honey. If you're gonna make off with an armored truck full of cash, $100,000 doesn't really take you very far.
Yeah, but he's young, so he doesn't know.
Wait for one of the big ones, one of the big hauls. But
He doesn't know.
So I'm guessing, based on the mugshot, that he was caught fairly quickly.
Yeah, they got back out of $100,000. They got $85,000.
What did he do with the other 15? He was making it rain all over the town, which is probably how they caught him.
First day on the job. That is stinking hilarious. I'm sorry,
Hey, he's a can-do kind of guy.
Oh my gosh. Where's Bob? Where'd he go?
Why did you settle for $100,000? You had to have known that a Brinks truck carries a fairly large array of cash.
And they had him on videotape taking it.
And I'm not poo-pooing $100,000. I'd be delighted to steal $100,000 should it be offered to me, but I don't.
You can't steal something when it's offered to you. It's a gift.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. But if you're going to be driving a Brinks truck, you would know that there would be like millions of dollars.
Right.
Because we always hear those stories about the Brinks truck's back doors opening and money going all over the freeway.
My dream.
I mean, like repeatedly. So they must have terrible latches on those trucks. But I mean, so we know they carry a lot. So you settle for $100,000?
But see, the perfect thing about the story is no one was suspicious because it was his first day. All right.
God bless you. All right, tell me something good. I think this is absolutely gorgeous.
Tell me something.
All right, I can't even imagine what this family went through when they lost their father. This police officer was recently killed in the line of duty. He was responding to a domestic violence call down in Jefferson County in New York State. Police hate domestic violence calls because, number one, they're there. They want to save the person who's the victim. They want to save their kids. But it's always been incredibly wildly conflicted,
right.
and there's a lot of danger on both sides. And it's a very tough call. And unfortunately, this is how this father lost his life. So they were trying to think of what they could do. The police association, there were 35 police officers, and they were thinking, what can we do that would mean something to his family?
Oh, to his family, right.
Because there's a small fund, but you know what police officers make. It's not very much. Right. And they're thinking, what can we do that would actually matter? And they thought, okay, here's the deal. They knew that Joel Davis had been building a tree fort for his daughter, Julia.
Oh, no.
And, a tree fort, like Zoe talks about it all the time.
A tree fort.
Tree fort. You got to have a tree fort. That's
very cool.
It's a quintessential part of childhood. So he was building this tree fort, and he lost his life. So in less than a day, the officers managed to put the entire tree fort together. Features like a ladder, windows, string of lights, a little balcony that you can see there. How cute is that?
A blue flag.
And then they took a picture of it. They sent it to her at school, and they said, when you get home, there's something waiting for you.
Oh, my gosh.
She came home, and there's her tree fort, and 35 police officers and her mom, who's bawling.
And here's the crying part for us.
And a brand new tree fort.
Thank you once again.
For your service.
Very cool. All right, so
all right.
coming up, gosh, we got so many things going on this morning.
Well, let's go to Daisy first in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom, and then we can recover ourselves.
Weddings and guns.
You had a lot of weird weddings and guns.
A lot of weird wedding stuff.
All right, first there's Daisy in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. It is brought to you, of course, by Fink and McGregor, our friends at Fink and McGregor. If you go to finkandmcgregor.com, it's actually fink/McGregor.com. You can do the 4-minute mortgage challenge. It's ridiculously simple, and you'll realize why they say it's mortgages made simple. Number 2, obviously, is executive transportation. If you would like one of their sweet Escalades for a ride anywhere, literally, March has been anywhere, all you have to do to book your ride is go to executiveutah.com. And all Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air open 24 hours a day. If you've got an emergency, they are there for you. AllUtahPlumbing.com. Good morning, Miss Daisy. What is going on today?
Hello, everyone. Here's what's making headlines Wednesday, August 2nd on GephartDaily.com. The search for an elderly hiker missing since Monday in Summit County was scheduled to resume Wednesday morning. 74-year-old Melvin Heaps disappeared while hiking near Crystal Lake and has not been seen since. Search and rescue crews are scouring the area on horseback and from the air. Heaps' car was found at a nearby trailhead, but so far there's been no sign of the missing hiker. Members of the Duchesne County Sheriff's Office are mourning one of their own. The canine officer known as Q, who retired from the force just 4 days ago, was put down due to an aggressive form of cancer. The 2-year-old German Shepherd had been partnered with Sheriff's Deputy Morant Harrison and was buried on Harrison's farm. Utah County officials have detected mosquitoes with the West Nile virus in ponds near Provo and North Springville. No signs of the disease turning up in people yet, but the health department is reminding everyone to minimize their exposure to mosquitoes by using DEET-based repellents and to cover up when mosquitoes are most active around dawn and dusk. And it'll be another scorcher today along the Wasatch Front, where temperatures will top out around 100 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Highs in the upper 90s Thursday and Friday with a chance of afternoon thunderstorms. That's it for now. Todd and Erin, back to you.
All right, so I got to tell you, if there's a plumbing thing, we're in a new house. We're in a new house, and I got to tell you, what one great thing all Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air does is they'll walk through your house. Now, even if you're renting, they'll walk through your house, and what they do is they look for faucet stuff. They look under the sinks, make sure the water turnoffs are good, nothing's dripping. They go down and make sure your water heater is going to work for you, the furnaces, including your AC, and your sprinklers. And they'll check everything you have going on and make sure it works right for you. And the nice thing about all Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air is they fix it once. They don't mess around. There's no duct tape involved here. They're going to fix it. They're going to fix it once. If you want more information, just go to allutahplumbing.com. All right, I find this so weird. We send our crew out to go check out what the skateboarders are doing. And when you think of skate park, what do you think?
Well, it's Sandy Skate Park, and it's really cool. So you think there's going to be all those teenagers, and they get the baggy shorts on, and they're like, no, it wasn't like that at all.
It was like this.
Oh, it's a hobby of mine that I've had pretty much about my whole life, and I had some friends of mine that had the day off work too, so we all decided to come out and roll around, have a little bit of fun.
How old are you?
47. It used to bother me, but it doesn't bother me anymore. I think if there's no age limit on skateboarding. If you're out having fun and doing what you want to do, then you should be able to do it. I know it is seen as more of a young person's sport. There are all a bunch of young kids out here at the park, but you know what? Us old guys can still get out and enjoy what we did in our childhoods.
What's your wife say about this?
She doesn't mind me doing it. She thinks it's a good outlet for me to get out and get some exercise and to be able to do something that I enjoy. You know, I won't say it hasn't been without its fights at times. She has, you know, yelled at me about age before, you're too old and this and that, but she realized that it's a passion of mine and I'm gonna do it whether she says to or not. So I think now that I'm older, I think where the fights have come with is I've had some injuries. I had an ankle that I snapped and a shoulder that I dislocated a couple of years ago, and she wasn't real happy about me getting injured, which I do understand. But I am a little bit older, and I do understand that I can't skate like I did 20 years ago. So I don't. I kind of found my own style, my own kind of surf style. I don't do the kick flip tricks and down the handrails and all that anymore. That's long gone. So all the older skaters out there, keep it up, man. It's great to see that you're still out doing what you do, your passion. There is no age limit. We'll be doing it till they pry the board off our cold dead feet.
See? How cool is that?
That was sort of adorable. I'm sorry, but that really was.
You know what's sad? With all those years of experience, he chooses to protect his knees and not his head.
Maybe that's because by that time there's really nothing left in our brains to protect. It's entirely possible. It's like, yeah, just protect what matters because I have to keep walking.
Here comes Grandpa. Get out.
You know how it is.
All right.
Okay, coming up in just a couple of minutes,
oh.
all the guns, all the weddings. This is weird.
All together. It's coming up next.
Todd and Erin's Morning Stream, brought to you by Black Diamond Experts. Electric, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. You'll be glad you called an expert. Fink and McGregor, mortgages made simple. Make sure you go to fink-mcgregor.com and try out their 4-minute mortgage program. It's incredibly easy to find out whether you qualify. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is actually available anytime at gephardtdaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
Back, it's the Todd and Erin. It's Todd and Erin Morning Stream. Oh, see, that's my story over there. That's gone. I'm looking for the wedding one.
That one?
No, that one. Anyway, so
handed
listen.
This one to me.
Listen, there's a designer person, and the designer person decided that they wanted to make something special with for women who needed armament. This is what they came up with. They came up with holsters. Holsters, and more holsters.
That woman's also got pink handcuffs.
Yes, she does. Yeah,
She's
does.
got pink handcuffs and a gun on her thigh.
Yeah, stop it. Stop it with that sexy talk.
Okay.
All right, so
I'm fine with concealed weapons permits. I'm fine with concealed carry, but that seems really
do you notice the dress
excessively.
the dress on the? Go back to the photo. Tell me if this doesn't look. The photo on the left is the wedding gown, and on the right is the bridesmaid.
Yeah, and she's got the handcuffs.
So they've got matching holsters.
Yeah, that's super.
Which falls
sexy.
into my next story, which is basically this happened in Arizona, and the police were called to a wedding, and the moment these couple got married and they went to their honeymoon suite motel, and evidently there was a problem.
Some sort of altercation.
She pulled a 9mm and put it up against his head and pulled the trigger.
Oh, would this be this one? They were at the Clarion Inn Motel.
That's the one. The gun wasn't loaded.
Well, see, that's fortunate.
Then she chambered around.
Oh, that's the problem.
Okay, so this cop showed up and they arrested her. How many
Yeah.
hours was this? I mean, it was like no time.
It was like 3 hours after that.
Okay, so-
25-year-old Elizabeth Pritchard was still in her wedding dress when she was arrested on aggravated domestic assault charges.
So she must have had one of those, a holster for your inner
They
thigh.
responded to a report of them arguing at a Clarion Inn motel a few hours after they were married. Witnesses reported she pulled a 9mm pistol out of her
Right.
dress, pointing it at her husband's head and pulling the trigger.
Out of her wedding dress.
Gun wasn't loaded, so she then loaded around in the chamber and fired a shot in the air. Way to go, Annie Oakley. Woo, you show him, sister.
All right, let's use our imaginations now and what could have gone that wrong in 2 hours. I do.
The
2 hours
cake
later.
was dry. The cake was dry.
You call that a wedding singer?
And right at the head, too. Not even like, like I'm just going to pick it up and wildly wave it around, but I'm going straight for the headshot.
And he didn't know it wasn't loaded.
Can you imagine? That's a text that you can't return.
That is
You know what I mean? He's not gonna be able to return that text.
not going to be able to do a lot of things.
Wow.
There goes the honeymoon.
And her parents.
But for her, it's okay. She'll be in prison.
Yeah, sort of. And her parents are still crying because they're going to be paying for that wedding for the next 10 years. So that's great.
It's either that or bail.
That's wow. I mean,
Just to pull a gun out, put it
okay.
in someone's
How
head
about
is
if
just like
how about
scary.
let's do a palate cleanser, shall we? If we're
Let's.
talking weddings, let's talk a nice wedding. Let's something nice.
Okay.
When it came for time for Michelle to choose a flower girl and a ring bearer for her wedding, the only kids that came to mind were her students because she's a teacher at IPS Butler Lab School, and she thought, okay, what the heck, I'm going to invite my entire class to be members of my wedding party.
That is very cool.
So 20 students walked down the aisle, all wearing white and carrying the garlands and flowers, and they're chucking out the flowers and holding
Nice.
the pillows. She said, they mean the whole world to me. The kids and their families were part of the whole wedding planning process, and they gave me so much support along the way. They're a huge part of who I am, and it wouldn't have felt right if they hadn't been involved in my wedding. So the
That's pretty
school
cool.
corporation said the students took great pride in their teacher's big day, and they all coordinated their outfits, so that
Funny.
they'd all look good today. And for some, it was their first wedding. That reminds me of our Zoe. One of her preschool teachers actually proposed to another one of the preschool teachers up at the U in Miss
school.
Rachel's house, and all the kids held the signs that said, "Would you marry me?" And so they were all invited. This was her first wedding too. She was very grown up,
Right.
very grown up. So this is adorable. She said, I couldn't have done it without them, and they were such an important part of it. And she asked her husband, her groom, if that would be all right, and he goes, well, we'd have to have them.
Right.
Which is why she fell in love and married him, because this man understands priorities. 20 ring bearers and flower kids.
20 rings. Oh,
20.
I want to be a flower person that throws the flowers. That looks like a fun job.
Right, if you see the video, I mean, they're just like with great abandon. They're just
Exactly.
shucking them in people's
Exactly.
faces, just the way you would when
Walking-
you're a kindergartner.
Walking with a pillow with a ring on it, not so cool.
I don't know, they seem to be enjoying it. Yeah,
Casting petals.
it was pretty cool.
Hey, we're going to talk about coming up later. Senator Hatch, right? Eighth term, and it's so funny. About 78%.
4 times 8, 48. It would be 48 years.
Yeah. 75% of Utahns say they don't want him to run again, but it's not the fact that they don't like what he's done. I think they're just fearful of him.
They're tired.
They're tired for him. So anyway,
don't
we're
you
gonna
wanna rest?
we're gonna go to the street on that coming up a little later, so we can get
But
some opinions out there.
78% of Utahns, I mean, if you
78%.
think about that, it's done by the Salt Lake Tribune, the University of Utah's Hinckley Institute of Politics. Longest ever serving GOP senator, and it's funny, he promised in 2012 that this current term would be his last. However, last March he announced that he changed his mind due to encouragement from President Donald Trump, and who he said were top Republicans. One Facebook commenter said, I guess it depends on who else is running. If he's like the only choice, I'd vote for him again. He's incredibly powerful. He's fourth in line for the presidency. He said, but there might be another one that was waiting in the wings. But he said, Hatch came campaigning to my grandfather's door in 1978 with term limits as a cornerstone issue.
On a horse.
40 years later, that's a promise it looks like he never intended to keep.
Oh my gosh.
That's interesting, though. I mean, and that has always been the longest running argument, is like the guy's insanely powerful.
Because he sits on all the committees.
He's been there forever.
And he does well for Utah. That's always been his defense.
And you and I have always been fond of him because we were heavily involved in a project with...
He hugged me.
No, he kissed you.
When
He hugged me.
When I have long hair, he hugged me.
No, he kisses Todd on the cheek when they meet. He hugs me. That's all I get. But Todd gets a kiss. Don't you remember Corey? There was a really cool little family, and she had a group of special needs kids, and she wanted to adopt Corey. He was from Poland, and they were having some troubles with the immigration issues, and we went,
jumped in.
What the heck? So we called Senator Hatch's office, and he actually came on the show. He went through the whole thing. He ran some things through, and he helped her adopt the boy. So
That's very cool.
And we've always liked him since, just on principle. So
And plus, Erin says if we're ever taken as
if we were ever kidnapped as political hostages and we're being tortured by a car battery, would you make sure that somebody comes down and rescues us? And he said, for you, Erin, yes. For Todd, I might wait a couple of days. But so that was...
76% of your Todds don't work. All right.
So anyway, that's interesting. So, we'll see the man on the street pulling that later. All right, coming up.
So, well, wait a minute. I wanted to talk about something here. Because,
what is that?
Yeah, so in the preparation of a show, like it's prepared, we don't have Wi-Fi in our house yet that we just moved into, and it's been driving crazy. And so...
oh, yeah, because you've been enjoying it.
Crazy. And when
Our children have been hugging their iPads and weeping.
When are they coming?
Softly.
No, that was you. It was a mirror. When are they coming?
Friday.
Coming Friday.
I actually went up, sat in the parking lot of Shriners Children's Hospital so I could use their Wi-Fi.
It's not secured?
Their Wi-Fi? Well,
That's where you went.
I told you I was going for a run. Didn't you wonder when I was taking my iPad with me and my charger?
What, do you plug it into like one of the lampposts out there?
Yeah. They have all those benches there.
You're really smart.
It was no one bothered me.
Okay.
Got some work done.
So what I've been doing, and we've been doing, is going to restaurants that have Wi-Fi. Now I got to tell you, first off, I hate seeing families online.
It technically looks
During
like family
dinner.
time when we're there.
No, it looks like I'm the worst dad in the world. I got a laptop open. I'm going through. I'm not looking at the kids. I'm not talking to the kids. Kids reaching for a pot sticker, slap that hand back, and get back to work.
Zachy and I were dancing, and you didn't even look up. We were doing the Running Man in the middle of Noodles and Company, and you did not even look up.
Now, here's the thing. I started at the children's area at McDonald's the other night.
That was okay. I would just like to say in retrospect that was creepy.
Yeah.
It's 10:30 at night, and you're sitting there with a laptop in the kids section by the ball crawl at McDonald's.
I didn't
In
think
retrospect, looking back on that, would you see where some parents would go, "What's the creepy guy with the laptop doing?"
It was 10 o'clock at night. There were no kids. But yeah, it's creepy. So I suddenly realized why their Wi-Fi runs so slow is because you'll eat more. You know, because we did, I did alone McDonald's, and then we all went down Noodles and Company. Once again, slow internet, and then and you're like, okay, I'll have the pie. They beat you down with it. And so basically, what time is he coming on Friday?
10 to 12, 10 to 12, 10 to 12. We'll be there. We'll be
Okay.
there waiting with open arms, Xfinity. We'll be right there with open arms for you.
I have gained 5 pounds since we don't have Wi-Fi. So
yeah, the kids have been eating out a lot, though, so they can't complain.
yeah, so don't. When on Friday?
10 to noon.
Nice.
10 to noon, Xfinity.
Hey,
We're there.
United Airlines just got topped.
We'll explain how coming up next. We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com?
All right, so this when I said United Airlines, it really has nothing to do with United Airlines. It has to do with another group, and basically France 293 carrying 323 souls aboard from Paris to Tokyo. Kind of had a coincidence kind of thing.
How so?
North Korea, ballistic missile.
Wow.
So the airliner passes directly over the Japanese Sea where the rocket lands, and they missed it by 10 minutes. Not that it would have hit necessarily the plane, but it's the whole
Concept.
behind a
And once
ballistic missile and an airplane.
Well, we're also talking a relative wild card here when it's North Korea, because you really don't know what's going to happen with it.
Maybe they were.
It could pop open and 12,000 turquoise birds could fly out singing happy birthday, or it could be a nuclear warhead. You're never sure.
You don't know.
When it comes to North Korea.
So they have
could be anything.
They have gotten complaints about this before from China. where a month ago the same thing happened. So maybe there is a coincidence.
You know,
So,
sadly, China's the only one that actually really likes North Korea anymore. And when they're saying, we'd prefer you not fire missiles into our oceans, then you're thinking this is really not a country that cares if it has friends or not.
it's okay, though, because the rest of the countries have decided to send a stern warning
And if that doesn't work, there will be another sharply worded letter.
with large block letters. Stop it, North Korea. All right,
It's
what
gonna
else?
be fun. All right, well, let's go to Daisy. She's got more global headlines. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Mortgage is made simple. All you have to do is go to fink-mcgregor.com. He's got a million different choices. You're going to find 2 or 3 that are a perfect fit for you. Executive Transportation, where our friend March can take you across the country or just to the airport in one of his sweet Escalades. Just go to executiveutah.com to book your ride. And Black Diamond Experts. That's electric, plumbing, heating, and air 24-hour service, because they know it's usually 2 in the morning when there's some kind of a problem in the house. Just go to blackdiamondexpert.com. Good morning, Miss Daisy. What is going on?
Hello again, Todd and Erin. Here's a look at national and world headlines on GephartDaily.com. A University of Idaho professor is dead after being struck by lightning while climbing in the Alps. 41-year-old Samantha Ramsey was the widow of Seattle Mariners pitcher Robert Ramsey, who died of brain cancer in August 2016. Samantha had traveled to the Alps to mark the 1-year anniversary of her husband's passing. They leave 2 children, ages 12 and 9. A French commercial airliner flew near the airspace when North Korea conducted its most recent ballistic missile test. The Air France jet, which was carrying more than 300 passengers, flew through the area just 10 minutes before the North Korean test. And the U.S. has a new FBI director. Christopher Wray was confirmed by the Senate Tuesday, filling a post left vacant since May when Donald Trump fired James Comey. The vote was 92-5. That's a quick look at world and national news. You can get all the day's headlines 24/7 on GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Todd and Erin Morning Stream, GephartDaily.com. Prison break.
First of all, let me tell you about Black Diamond while you're looking up
Oh,
the
yeah,
story,
go
'cause
ahead.
this is pretty good.
Yeah.
We were talking about Black Diamond Experts. Now, this is electric, plumbing, heating, and air. It's been very fun because I've talked to a couple of people who actually paid attention when I was saying, hey, this is a really good company. And so I talked to my girlfriend afterwards and said, how did it go? She'd moved into a new house, and I guess there was like a pile of problems. And so she said, come on over, I've got a laundry list of stuff. And I don't know, I guess as a woman, I'm always paranoid that like service people think I'm an idiot. And well, technically with plumbing and electrical, I am. And they're going to come in and go, yeah, this thing's broken, you need bunches of those things too. But she said this guy came in, he was awesome, wiped his shoes, put on his booties, and she's like, that's not really necessary. He goes, yes, it is. So he came in, he went through the house, and he was going through all the projects she needed, and I guess there was like 6, wrote everything out, then he went and made a few calls, did a bid, and he goes, this is what it's going to be. She goes, well, that's pretty good. Are you sure? And he went, yeah. So they came back the next day. They brought 3 different people. They went through the entire house, got everything fixed, handed her the bill, and it was, once again, exactly what the bid said, because that's what they do. There's no upcharges. There's no little extra special hidden fees. There's no nasty surprises at the end. It's just everything is fixed, and it's what they quoted you, and that's what you pay. Now, I really like these guys. So if you want to talk to them, maybe get some ideas. If you have some estimates or something you need, it's blackdiamondexpert.com.
All right, I now take you inside a prison and people trying to get outside of prison. Here are the inmates who actually escaped. And basically, you know what they did? There's a good-looking bunch, maybe. Another group.
Well, that one little guy
Orange is the new
tiny.
black, by the way. It's true.
Oh, I like the one who's smiling, and
Right.
the kid down there on the left is doing and the lower right is doing the glamour shot pose.
It's nice.
Oh, head to the side.
So the deal
They
is,
look unnaturally happy
guess how
about
they
this
got
whole
out?
thing.
Guess how they got out?
Explain.
Peanut butter. Peanut butter.
How'd they get out with peanut butter?
Peanut butter. So basically it was time for everybody to go back in their cells, and one of the guys wanted to go back earlier, and he said, hey, can you open up number blah, right? Well, they took the peanut butter and they covered up one of the numbers. So the guard actually opened the wrong door. He opened the door to the outside.
That's pure evil. Who would even think of that?
And so they're all going, it worked, now what do we do? So they grabbed their
Look at that.
blankets and they just, those young men, kind of walked out into the yard, and this is in Alabama. And they threw their blankets over the razor wire, and they climbed up and over, and they got a truck, and they drove away. Here's the problem.
Wow, that's rather ingenious.
Peanut butter. Here's the problem.
Peanut butter.
The word went out that these 12 inmates were out there, and they offered a reward. And evidently, either everyone in these towns wants to be McGruff the crime dog,
Or they didn't really like him that much in the first
or
place.
they just wanted some cash, because they went on a manhunt.
No way, really?
It was just like, hey, Bob's got one. He got $5,000. Let's all go. And so everyone was.
Go get your dog. Come on, this is going to be fun.
Everyone went out into the community, and they were like turning people in left and right. Some guys like gave up because these
Mom!
crowds were coming at them.
You seriously
Just-
called on me?
Yeah. So the police
That
could,
is so sad, seriously.
police could just sit back and go, there's a reward. Go get him. We'll be here. Bring him here.
So I'm guessing satellite TV was out in that town that night and figured, you know, what else
So
got going on.
they said, we were kind of surprised, but, you know, we put a value on them. A reward, they kind of went crazy on us. So they caught him all. That's
That is,
it.
I mean, not that I approve of them actually escaping, but that was so ingenious.
know.
And then you go home to your hometown. What?
I have something to tell you next.
Really?
Be strong for me. It's coming up next.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephartDaily.com?
All right, so it's time for me to be truthful
You're
with you.
making me have a certain level of anxiety here, but let's go for it.
All right. So, we had talked about this the other day, and I just want to say that,
What did we talk about?
first of all, it didn't mean anything to me. It didn't mean anything. It was nothing.
What didn't mean anything to you?
I went to the KFC buffet alone.
You cheated on me?
Didn't mean anything, hon.
You cheated on me?
The extra crispy.
You even ate the extra crispy without me?
Yeah, I did.
You don't even like the extra crispy.
I know.
You're an original formula guy. You ate without me?
39th and State, it's a buffet.
I
every
bet you had
day.
the chicken fried steak too, because it was
Yeah.
Tuesday, didn't you?
Yeah. Mashed potatoes, gravy, coleslaw. Not into the biscuits.
Okay, we're down to one car right now because Todd's car is in the shop. So let me just rephrase this. You took my car and left me at home with the children, and you went to the KFC buffet by yourself.
It was research. I was doing research on chicken and Kentucky. So that's where I went. And it's $11 all you can eat. Ew. That's why I didn't eat dinner last night.
What kind of a man are you?
You went for the Wi-Fi, right?
This is your fault.
No, I didn't
This
go
is
for
your
the-
fault. You told them about it, and I am blaming you for the end of my marriage.
I didn't.
You.
Wow.
It is
wow,
your
right?
fault, pal. No. You could have cheated on me with a Playboy bunny, and I could have lived through that. But you cheated on me with food.
I think we've all learned a lesson
food.
here. It's called keep your mouth shut.
How could you have gone to the buffet without me? You know how I feel about Kentucky Fried Chicken.
It just came over me. I was being spontaneous.
It's not funny. Stop laughing. I'm gonna come back and hit both of you.
It's not a court. There's not a judge in the land.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah. I mean, no, it was horrible.
What else did you get? Did you get the coleslaw and the biscuits? You didn't even like the biscuits.
I only had 2. So that's why I'm shaped like this now. Thank you.
I can't believe you cheated on me.
Let's just move on.
You know, if it had been another woman, it wouldn't have mattered. But you cheated on me with food.
There was a lady there.
With food.
There
You
was a lady
cheated on
there
me with
named
food.
Barbara.
I don't care.
She's like 60.
Was she eating extra crispy too? I don't care.
No, she was filling the trays. Every man in that room was in love with her.
I don't know if I can ever look at you the same way
She just
again.
kept bringing chicken out like that.
It's like I don't even know who you are. I don't even know who you are right now.
All right.
I don't think I can finish the show. I might have to leave now.
You can't. They're not open yet. What the hell's wrong with you?
I got the car keys. I can wait.
Okay. Conspiracy theories. Let's go on to
I really
something
can't believe
else.
you did that to me.
I know. So basically, they're telling NASA to put up or shut up. These are the people who said the moon landing was a hoax. And they will not. It was just the 50th anniversary of Neil Armstrong, and on the lunar surface. And Marcus Allen is one of the nuts. I mean, the guys who kind of does the conspiracy.
Don't touch me.
Oh, let's get over this.
No, don't touch me. Go on.
Okay. So anyway, they said you got to prove it, and NASA's going, well, we already did it. We went to the moon 50 years ago. What's the problem with this? And they said no, because they talk about shadows, and there's a double shadow, and then they're talking about this, that, and the fact that the flag's waving. It's not. It's just crumpled from being stored, and then they put a stick up to hold it out. And some people say you can't use a glove when it's in vacuum, which they make these little contraptions to show you, and it's stupid. And they're actually they did go to the moon. Here's the bad thing, is that NASA said yeah, we went, and they said no, you couldn't have gone because of Van, what's his face's, hang on one second, I'll get it. Because of Van Ness belt. Hang on one second. Oh, Van Allen's belt, which is a radioactive stream around particles around the Earth. Mm-hmm. I never heard of it before. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah. It's part of the electromagnetic field.
So what they're saying is, if you rocket through it, you'll die.
No.
Well, no, that's what they say. There's no way. They had no radiation suits or anything. They were going to die when they went through it on the way to the moon, which kind of puts a poo-poo on Mars.
No, that's not possible.
It's not possible?
No, there's a myriad of different exposures to radiation, especially in
They
space.
say-
It's
they
not going to
say-
be the first and the last thing they go through.
They say you're crazy, because this is one of the main reasons why anybody who flies through that is going to die in a couple weeks.
Well, no, that's not the element of that's not the element of radiation you would need in order for immediate fatality. Number two, there is still shielding on a space shuttle. So no, that's not.
Do you believe they went to the moon?
Of course they did.
They're saying that JFK wanted to beat the Russians so bad that they went to a secret location, built a secret studio, and then made a secret deals on this, videos on this.
I hate to tell you this, but you know what? The special effects weren't that good in the 60s. Faking it would have been much harder than actually filming the real thing.
That's why, because the pictures weren't that great, and that way, and when they showed them stepping off the limb and stuff like that, it was just like, like if it was clear, you'd see like a lamp in the background or a dog or something.
There could be dogs on the moon.
Hey, you want to go to lunch today?
I don't even want to talk to you anymore. Okay, this is really the most bizarre thing ever. Let's say that you're having like the worst year of your life. That would be the Coates family. First of all, their father, and I love the way this is put in this article, the family had been going through a string of unfortunate events. Her husband had robbed a bank, so their family had lost their home after he went to jail.
I have a comment.
Yeah.
An event isn't something that you cause.
An unfortunate event.
No.
Oh, okay, but I would like to point
An
out.
event is your house burns. An event is a celebration. An event of getting caught while robbing is not an event. It's a circumstance of sorts.
Okay, well, let's just say that for Tawny Coates, who was the wife and the mom, it was an unfortunate event because her husband's gone to jail. She's lost her house.
Yeah,
they're living with her dad and
something he did.
And Zoe, who is their dog, their family dog, who they love more. The kids love more than life itself.
Because
It's like
he
Zoe.
stuck with him through all this craziness.
It's like Zoe and Gil. It's like your best friend. And so their pet boxer had started getting really sick, started having seizures, a lot of problems. They finally took her to the vet, and they found out that there was a large mass on Zoe's side, a big tumor. And so they're having this. They're like, you got to be kidding me. And there's just grief and their misery. And the doctor's like, this is gigantic mass, seizures.
This is it.
And so they say, okay, we're going to have to euthanize her because, and that anyone who's done this with a pet, this is like the hardest possible thing you can ever do. That you're holding your baby and you're saying goodbye.
The only thing you can think of is All Dogs Go to Heaven, the great movie.
That's a good picture.
Yeah,
it is.
right there. See? They're in heaven.
Because
they're
they
happy.
do. They all go over the rainbow bridge and they're in heaven.
Okay.
So they went, okay, it's painful, but we, Zoe, we held, we love
Yeah,
her, and
they went through it.
she doesn't have to suffer anymore. Except for 6 months later,
6 months later, what?
Tawny was looking on one of these websites about boxers because she was thinking maybe I could get the kids another boxer, another dog. And 6 months later, after losing Zoe, she felt like,
No.
okay, maybe we're ready to get another dog.
No.
So she's looking on the website, and it's a rescue home for boxers. And she looks at one picture. She goes,
Shut up.
"That's Zoe.
The
That's
dog.
That's our boxer Zoe." And she goes, "I've got to be insane. I've got to be clinically insane." So she grabbed it and went and showed it to her dad and
Right.
said, "This is Zoe, right?" And he goes, "That can't be correct. They can't be." So they actually contacted the home. They got a picture. They looked at it. They went there. The dog is Zoe, jumping up and down, happy as can be, scar on her side where there had been the mass.
Oh my gosh.
So the next step, of course, is they go back to Dr. Mary Smart, who is the veterinarian,
Hey, Smart.
and said, "Dr. Mary Smart, you had told us the dog needed to be euthanized. You said the dog needed to be put down. We gave you $215 for Zoe's euthanasia and cremation." And she said, "Well, I'd looked at the dog after, and it didn't seem like you really cared about her that much. Like you weren't really worked up. So I used the money instead to remove the tumor, and then I sent her to a rescue home, because you didn't seem like you were that fond of her." And she goes, and this is her phrase, which to me sounds like something your lawyer wrote. "In my professional opinion, this was a dog that had years to live, and I didn't want to put the dog down. I was trying to save its life. Had I any inkling that they might have all been interested in having the dog back, but I would have for sure called. You just paid for your dog to be put down
I'm baffled.
in grief, and you're all crying. The kids are standing in your office, Dr. Mary Smart, bawling,
Right.
and you
They don't really like
think-
the dog.
didn't." And poor Tawny said, "This kind of feels like the final stab to the worst year of our life." But on the bright side, they did get Zoe back, so that's the one happy note. But it's like, what veterinarian goes, "Yeah, that dog's got the mass," and
what's
then
weird?
goes, "I've changed my mind. The dog should live, and I don't think you want him
So,
back."
so the weird thing is
Who
that
does that?
there's the yin and the yang. The bad yang is, or the bad yin, you decide, is the fact that the woman lied to them about putting their dog down.
That is like the
And
weirdest thing ever.
And yet, healed the dog. And then put the dog in a home. Didn't sell the dog, put the dog in a home. So it's like, I lie to the family, I take care of, get healthy, give it to a home so somebody else can have it. Anybody but them.
You must have really not liked that family.
I think some vet is into the medicine cabinet. That's what I think.
That is, but I just love her phrasing. "Had I any inkling they wanted the dog back?" Well, if they had paid all this money, and this is a family who's lost their home, so it's not like they're rolling in cash. If they had paid all this money to have the dog put down in a humane fashion and cremated, then I'm guessing they probably were pretty fond of the dog. Had I any inkling at all they wanted him back? It's like, well,
Don't
yeah,
they
'cause
take an oath? Don't they take a Hippocratic oath just like doctors do?
I would think so, because boy, being a vet, it takes almost.
Do-
I think it's just as much training as it is for a human doctor.
Is it?
I think so. It takes a long freaking time to be a
To be a
veterinarian.
vet?
So you would
Interesting.
think that would just seem like the weirdest story. But on the bright side, the Coast family does have Zoe back, so that's one bright spot. And ideally, after the lawsuit, they might be able to buy a new home.
They need a new home because they burned down, you see, because he robbed a bet. Never mind. I got a call. We got a call the other day from friends of ours, and they came out and visited us right here. And they swear that Salt Lake City is the Wild West. Because we live next to the foothills. We walk like half a block, and boom, you're in the woods.
Well, I keep sending the pictures like, "Oh crap, here's the rattlesnake I almost stepped on."
Oh, look at this.
That was-
Deer.
oh,
Deer
here's a
on,
deer.
on our front yard. Here's a badger. And so our friends are like, think like we're like
Either that-
frontiers people.
Or I think we've got like some sort of stunt, animal person who keeps like launching animals at us for photo ops. But
So
no,
they picked up this news article on one of the national sites. And they called up and said, there was a cougar in downtown Salt Lake City, proving their point that we are pioneers people.
There's not a cougar in downtown Salt Lake City.
Yeah, there was.
Right.
One of the Gold Cross ambulance guys, they were sitting there, they kind of stake out an area going, I think someone will get hurt here. And they kind of hang out and wait. And all of a sudden, a mountain lion comes walking across 15 South and 500 East.
6th East and South Temple.
That's where it moved to.
6th East and South Temple.
Okay, let's think of it. Whoa, geez.
3 a.m.
That's close to our house.
I know, 3 a.m. Tuesday. And it was just strolling around.
Right. There's a young male, probably just separated from its gang, and looking at a new hood.
And it thought it would go downtown.
So they cornered the thing. And so my friends laughing, they're laughing their butts off because there's like, see, I told you, you got cougars running through your neighborhoods. And so basically...
Downtown. Wait,
downtown.
Isn't this like the second mountain lion they've had downtown this year?
There.
Third, no way.
Yeah, you see the other picture by the university, the pedestrian bridge that goes over just down the hill from the hospital?
Yeah.
They've got this great shot of this like 9-footer just strolling on the grass. And you're like, holy... So if you're walking around campus at night, hello? We had deer run through our front yard yesterday in middle afternoon. So they're right. We do live in the Wild West. Downtown cougars.
This is the third sighting.
That's crazy.
Of mountain lion downtown.
And unfortunately, this one didn't end well because they cornered it.
Yeah, so it charged, right?
Yeah. They trank guy missed. And so they had to put the animal down, which is really sad. But yeah, so my friends think that we do live, like cavemen back here.
At this point, we apparently really do. I mean, it's hard to
Evidently we
argue
do.
with that, right?
All right, so we want to
Seriously.
thank you for... Oh, first of all, go on our Facebook, and I need more suggestions of what restaurants have Wi-Fi. And I'd like something
'Cause
savory.
the people at McDonald's said that we can't let him come back there anymore.
I want to step it up, A Mexican restaurant would be good. Whatever, just go on Facebook and let us
And
know.
if you could let us know the internet speed, that would be helpful too. Some of them are real slow, and I'm not trying to be selfish, but it's just if you could tell us some are faster than.
When I look at a story and the URL comes up, I don't even wait for, because it's so slow, I don't even wait for the story to print out. I have to guess by the liner, by the URL. It's like on a donkey, cheeseburger, avalanche. Boom. And then I see what I get the next morning. It's great. So anyway, thanks so much. Once again, is Hatch going to run for an 8th term? We don't know, but we went to the streets and we asked you. You guys have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow morning on the Todd and Erin morning stream on GetPartDaily.com.
What do you think of Orrin Hatch? What do you think of Orrin Hatch running for Senate?
I don't even know who that is. Never heard of him.
Isn't he dead?
Is he like dead or I don't know?
I don't know much about the guy, but he already, just the name sounds very douche, like a tyrant. I don't know.
As long as his mind is working and he isn't doing anything crooked or anything illegal, yeah, he should run for office.
What do you think of Orrin Hatch running?
I don't even know who he is.
Orrin Hatch is a worthless piece of
I think a lot of people think he's been in office too long.
40? That's like half his life.
I remember 6 years ago when he said it'd be his last term.
He might be dead before he even makes office, thinking of how old he is.
He originally ran on term limits, and you gotta imagine 6 years from now he'd run for another term. And here we are, 6 years later, he's running for another term.
Wow, he needs to retire.
He is a period.
I think there definitely should be term limits on the Senate.
Isn't he a senator here or something?
As long as he's still functional, he's able to do his job, with professionalism, I think he will do a good job.
Well, why don't they put someone new in the office and get Hatch out of there? He's not really doing anything for us anyway.
What do you think of Orrin Hatch running for Senate?
Orrin Hatch is a Mormon.
I don't know who that is.
His time is coming to a short end, and he should enjoy life with his family and not have to sit in an office all day, every day.
What do you think of Orrin Hatch running for Senate?
No comment.
I'd say he's out of touch. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of new issues popping up in the world that he's probably very unfamiliar with, and we need people who know what they're talking about with the situations. So,
Don't you think he's a bit old?
Super old.
I bet he's got a nicer house than I freaking do.
That is far too long. They should really let someone. I mean, I guess they could keep letting him do it though, because he's probably gonna die off soon enough that they might as well just let him live it out happy.
He has set records for the longest serving Republican senator in history of this country, so that does tell you something. So I'm not surprised, bit disappointed, but not surprised.